In this series of tutorials, we're going to take a look at how to create icons in Fireworks using three primary tools: the Subselect tool, the Vector Shapes tool, and the Pen tool. And additionally, we'll be taking a look at the Paths palette so that we are able to draw more complex shapes very precisely. So our first icon is going to be a simple search icon, which you see here on the workspace. So let's go ahead and get started. This one we're going to kiss goodbye and we're going to start fresh. The first thing we want to start with is the donut tool. So I'm going to go into my vector tools here in the toolbar, and from the shapes drop down I'm going to select the donut tool. Because if you think about a search icon, really all it is a donut and a rectangle. So let's take a look at how we make that come together. So I have my donut tool selected. I'm going to click and drag across my workspace while I have my shift key pressed. And that's going to constrain my shape so that it's equally as high as it is wide. So we have a perfect circle, technically a donut, here on the workspace. And you see there are some control points for this shape. I'm going to switch to my pointer tool. And with my pointer tool, what I'm going to be able to do is pull this inner control point, the inner radius control point, and make this donut a little bit more narrow, like so. I'm just going to move this up into the corner a little bit further. The next thing I want to do is draw a rectangle. That's pretty simple. I'm going to go back to my Vector Shapes tools and select the rectangle tool from the drop down. And I'm going to draw a rectangle that's about as wide as that inner radius of my donut, like so. Perfect. So all I need to do now is rotate this rectangle so it looks like a handle. So I'm going up into my tools, and right underneath my pointer tool you'll see I have a scale tool that also will let me rotate. So I select that and I move my cursor to the corner of my rectangle so that the pointer turns into a half circle. And with my shift key pressed again, I'm going to move or turn my rectangle to the left. And if you notice, with the shift key down, your object is going to move incrementally at particular angles. So it just makes it easy to get to a 45-degree angle, which is what we're at right now. So I'm going to switch back to my pointer tool again. I'm going to move this rectangle so that it's touching the donut now, and it looks very much like a search icon, right? So the last thing I want to do is I want to make this a full shape instead of two separate shapes. And to do that, I'm going to use my Paths palette, and you see it's open here on the right. There's lots of powerful things you can do with the Paths tool if you're interested in drawing in Fireworks. So I want to join all of these shapes, so I'm going to select both of the shapes. And the function that I want to use is the union paths, which you see it's the third option from the left. And when I click this, my shape has been made into one. It is indivisible unless I go back in and manually break it apart again. So there I have a search icon. It's as easy as it can be.